Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. You know me, I'm Tom. Okay, the topic of this video really is going to be important because this is one of those part twos of money, business, and just common sense that I'm going to do for you today. Let's get out some information I think you're going to find very, very valuable. So, what I should name this video is how to run a successful business, okay? And believe me, today I got a phone call that changed everything, all right? But before we get started, you know what time it is. Oh, yeah. Nothing like the first taste of cold beer. All right. Now, over the last 8 years, my channels I've spent my time teaching you guys how to run a small business, really. And just the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the protocols, the things you should do, things you shouldn't do, and just how to basically doing the right thing all the time. Let me get into the meat and potatoes because this is kind of an interesting deal, this phone call today, because at first I thought it was a scam, and come to find out it was not a scam. Okay. Once I did a little follow up on it, but let me give you the details. Let me share with you how this whole thing went down. Now, as you know, when I started my business, it was just like any other venture. You have to get your name out there. You establish your reputation, you establish a price and a service and a quality level, and then people will judge you based on all those factors. And then they'll just say, yeah, we like this guy, we like this company. No, we don't like this guy or girl, whatever, and we don't like this company. So for the last 8 years, I've used social media, YouTube and Nextdoor, okay? Nextdoor was a kind of a new phenomenon for me, so I didn't really know all the intricate details about how it worked and what really, how it worked. I just didn't know how it worked. But now I do know how it works, and it's a powerful, powerful tool, okay? Now, I've always told you guys and girls that I have 4 very, very important people in my life. These people are also in business with me too. So in reality, it's a meshing of, businesses, okay? One is my bookkeeper, okay? Number 2 is my CPA. Number 3 is my banker. Now keep that one in mind, my banker, okay? And then number 4 is my insurance agent. And I've also alluded to the fact that some people find their physician very important, especially if you have health concerns, ongoing health problems. And if you have criminal problems, you're going to always want a good relationship with a good lawyer. Thank God I don't have that problem. But I digress. Let me just say I have a lawyer, and he has got me out of one thing, okay, one situation in the last 20 years, which, it is what it is. But the bottom line is I paid the price and I moved on. But the thing is that protecting your reputation is very, very important. Okay, so now here we go. This is the part that is the meat and potatoes of money, business, the flow, the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, which I won't touch on too much wrong things to do. I'm just going to tell you how this all went down. Okay, here we go. Now, I got a text today from a bank. And normally when you get texts from banks or anything else like that, you think, oh God, what's up, right? But it happened to be a name I know, because remember, I've been banking, if you don't know this, I've been banking at the same branch for over 20 years, okay? When I was in the car business, I had an account there. This is where I started in Raleigh, okay? So I know this bank very, very well. And they also know me very, very well. Okay? They knew me when I had no money. Okay? When I was being sued by my third wife for a credit card and taxes and a few other stupid things. That's why you need a good tax attorney. But anyway, or tax lawyer, whatever. But the whole point was, when I got through all that, the whole point was is I've been a very, very loyal customer to this bank. And as the years progressed and the business progressed, this bank has watched my business grow because I have a business account, I have a personal account, I have a savings account, and I also have a CD there. So I am, considered a pretty good customer. So they have multiple accounts. I never overdraft my, accounts. I always have money in them, blah, blah, blah. But over the years, the business account has been growing and growing and growing and growing. Now, I've also been invited to several what I call retirement parties by this bank, from the employees, the vice president up to the president. And I have attended as a customer, a VIP customer. I've gone to the bank's functions, their parties, and I can go on about other places I've been invited from these, prestigious companies that I do business with because they just like my style. They think I'm a good positive influence, and I always handle and carry myself very professionally when I'm in their building and in their environment, and I'm always curious as to how they're doing. So here's the text message, is that this former vice president of a branch bank, who now is working as a VIP manager for a major retail outlet, major retail store. Okay, so apparently they moved from banking into retail. Okay, now this person, and I don't need to mention any names, obviously, but this person was female. Texts me and says that they're opening a brand new store in Chapel Hill. Now, if anybody knows anything about Chapel Hill, to open a store in Chapel Hill, you have to have money, a lot of money. That is high rent district. And we're not talking about a small store. This is a multi-tier, multi-state store. I don't know if they're international or not. I need to do a little research on who they are, but apparently they sell very high-end products. And their problem is that they hired a contractor. Once they bought the building, it was another operation and another type of store in there, and they moved out, and now they're doing a remodel. Well, this guy came in. They liked him. They flat out said, "We like this guy." Well, several big projects and parts of the building were not completed. And they gave me a list. One, and I'm going to let you in on this. One is to install a vault in a commercial building behind a false wall, and they can't seem to get anybody to do the job. And also move a marquee sign, and also hang some security doors that are solid steel that goes into this vault area, because obviously they're going to be holding a lot of merchandise and some high-end stuff. It's not a jewelry store. Let's just say that. It's not a jewelry store, but some of the stuff that they sell there are extremely expensive. And they want to put a vault. The vault is a portable one on skids. Only problem is they can't configure how to put it into the wall, so the wall has to come out, and then the vault is slid into place, which is on a big concrete slab. The whole building, remember, this is a commercial building, it'll slide into this slot, and then it gets a room built around it, okay? So then there's a steel door, then there's a security thing, and of course another company is doing all the security wiring, cameras, and all that. But they can't get anybody to build this slot into the building so this vault can go, this portable huge vault. They say it weighs a lot. It's already on portable skids, so it can be moved. It's being moved right now. It's just literally sitting in the center of this room, but they gotta, like I said, have it installed into the wall. So I told them, I said, that's not a problem. I said, I can bust through concrete, I can lay brick and block, reinforce frame, put up a steel framing system, because there's a commercial door company down the road. I've installed them before in commercial buildings. It's not a real big deal. You have to use light gauge steel, and really you bolt through this concrete, and it's just a different form of construction. Well, anyway, let me get back. I didn't want to break that part of the details down, but here's what ended up happening is that when she called me up or texted me, she says, give me a call. So I called her and we were talking, and what happened is that this contractor that they hired is now becoming unreliable. They said they can't get him to show up. He makes all these promises and then he doesn't show up, and he's leaving this business hanging. They're trying to have a grand opening, and they can't have a grand opening without everything put in place, okay? And the bottom line is that they got really, really frustrated. And anyway, I got my name dropped through social network and some of the inner circles of it's PNC Bank. Let's just put that out. It's PNC Bank, okay? I've been a member of them forever, even before they were another branch. But the whole point is that my name started popping up in their inner circles, and they said, why don't you give Tom a call? He seemed to always show up. He seems to always have good ideas on how to putting things together and making things happen, okay? So I got that conversation. We had that conversation, and I told her, I said, really, none of this stuff sounds really difficult. I said, it's time consuming. And I said, there's a lot of engineering you got to, go through. And being that it's on the inside of the building, you don't have to worry about permits and stuff like that. As long as you're not changing the overall, integrity of the building, and you're not doing anything crazy to change loads or, any of the dimensions, the internal walls or anything like that. As long as you're staying within those boundaries, you really don't need to worry about it. You just need to demo and install a thing and then build back and do what you got to do to secure and build a room. And, building on concrete's no big deal. And they said, well, yeah, here's the deal. They said, we want to hire you, period. And whatever it takes, we want you on the job. And I said, okay, here's my schedule. Here's what's going on. I said, when do you want to open? They said they want to open by New Year's. And I said, that's going to be a little bit impossible. I said, but at the same time, as long as there's a move forward towards getting everything going to where if the last thing is the security system, the cameras and everything like that, and the vault is secured, and a few other things are, built and put in place to where that area is secured, then you guys can technically go ahead and open up. And they said, yes, we can, as long as there's work in progress. And I says, good. I said, like something like this is going to be expensive as hell. And they said, don't worry, it's not a matter of money. It has nothing to do with money. They have to open this store, okay, because they have a large corporate budget, and then they got to go ahead and get this location up and operating. So let me just say this about business. We can get into the microeconomics or the macroeconomics of running a small business or medium-sized business or even a large corporation. But the guidelines and the policies and the things to do and not to do are all very clear and well written out for the last 100 years. You run a business, the right way. You got to just be honest with yourself. You can't overpromise, underdeliver. It's better to over-deliver and under-promise, because the bottom line is that if you don't show up and you've made that promise that you're going to show up, you've already ruined your reputation. You've ruined your credibility. And that is so important nowadays with all these wannabes out there who think they got a great business plan and, all this stuff, and in reality, then they come back and say, well, how come we're not busy? It's because maybe the way you're running the business, it sucks. You're letting people down. You don't realize that you're taking on maybe too much work, you're quoting too much, and you're not standing up to what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're promising. Look, guys, I'm not here to pat myself on the back. I learned how to run a business the right way from being in the car business for 28 years. That told me and showed me rules. I follow a lot of rules when I run my business. I respond immediately when I get a call or a text. I don't let people hang, okay? My rule of thumb is you call somebody back within 30 minutes, if not sooner. That's just the way it is. 30 minutes or less. They need a phone call, okay? Then you want to be able to get to the point where once you set an appointment, you want to show up at their place within 72 hours, if not sooner. Regardless if you're doing work, if you're taking off, do it in the evening or do it first thing in the morning, but you want to show your face. The second that you set the appointment, you want to be able to meet face to face with the potential customer. Going over price, believe it or not, believe this or not, once you show up and they see you're honest, you're professional, you're dressed correctly, your van or truck or whatever, it's got your name on it, you hand out a brochure, a flyer, a business card, or anything like this, and you don't try to bullshit your way through a sale, and you're just honest and low key about everything, and you're also a referral, those people will trust you. Then price doesn't become an issue, okay? They don't care. They just want the job done. Now, I never quoted prices, but I'm already guaranteed to be a vendor for this corporation. And I've done it so many times. Look at the hospital. That's an industrial complex. I've had it for 10 years. Ongoing contracts, never ending. You know why? Because I run my business the same way all the time, the right way. There's only one way to do things right, man. There's 100 ways to do everything wrong, okay? People have to have the experience that they can trust you. They got to be able to trust you. If they can't trust you, there's no point in hiring you. Do you get that? Okay, I'm coming to the end of this beer. I didn't want to make this a really long, drawn-out thing. But here is kind of the conclusion to this whole thing, is that I'm already busy. I'm already booked till December the 22nd, right? The 2 days before Christmas Eve. And I shut the books down on the 22nd. I already said to that customer, you're my last customer of the year. Well, we'll see about that now. But the point is that being able to be an independent one-man show, and I did have a call from another handyman here in town who doesn't do as big as work as I do, but he has an 18-year-old son that's homeschooled, and he said that he really, really wants to have his son work with me, and his son has watched my YouTube channel, or the father has. I don't know if the son has, but he wants me to OJT his son. And I gave him a kind of a lukewarm response to that because I'm not really sure, because I've done it before and I've been let down so many times. But being that this job is going to be definitely all hands on deck kind of thing, there's a strong chance. And of course, if you're looking at this video, that I might be calling you up and your son up, and we might be going to attack the store. Okay, now, being that said, when I first got the hospital contract, it was overwhelming to the point to where I thought, how in the hell is one man going to handle such a huge complex and the kind of work that I can that I do out there, and it's major work, okay, major stuff. And the average one person, if they look at the scope of it, they would say, there's no way I can do this. Well, over the years, I've learned how to do it. having the right equipment, having the right tools, having the right experience, and also too having the right access to certain parts of facilities, when you need to, and you don't have to go through all these different types of protocols, it really, really helps. It's like having a key to the back door. It's really, really important that you be able to get in, do your job, and get out, okay? So instead of, like I said, going through the normal vendor process, going through the security and all that other stuff, which I've already gone through all that over the years. They know who I am. Everybody knows who I am. So when I show up, all I have to do is say, hey, I'm going to be working in Sector C or, over there. And they're going to say, yeah, go do what you got to go do. We know who you are, fine and dandy. So this is just another way of saying, the opportunities for being a small one-man show and landing extremely large commercial and industrial contracts is not unheard of. There are not many people that can do it, but I have been able to do it, and I'm still doing it. And the only reason that I can do it is because I told myself that a small job and a big job, they're all the same. They're all the same. One just takes longer. That's it. When I poured the concrete in a parking deck, all that concrete, it took 6 months to pour in all those steps, 4 levels, 3 staircases and 4 levels, you look at a job like that and you're out there by yourself or you got a helper with you, you got 2 guys and you're laying that much concrete. And you got to do it all by hand. You got to haul every bag up by hand, 4 flights of, stairs, and just do all kinds of crazy shit like that. You look at yourself and you say, I've lost my mind. There's no way I'm going to beat myself up. But you know what? After a while, your body will reciprocate. You won't have any problem. I'm 65 years old. I'm just as strong as I've ever been in my life. But the bottom line is that I had to train this muscle up here to deal with the kind of like the anxiety of large work, large projects. And it doesn't scare me anymore. I love the big stuff. In fact, I'd rather do big stuff than small stuff. But so here's the moral of the story, and I'm going to wrap this up right here. If you're going to start a business, or you currently have a business and you're not really busy, I know a lot has to do with your demographics, where you live, what city you're in. If you're out in the country, you're in the mountains, you're at the coast, whatever. All these things do play into it. But Raleigh is the 4th fastest growing city in the United States. Okay, let's just be clear about that. We're the shining star of the United States. This state, North Carolina, and especially Raleigh, we're going farther and above beyond the call of duty in this state when it comes to bringing in money, bringing in new business, bringing in huge corporations, and the business is not slowing down here whatsoever. There's so many people coming in to our area in Wake County. And new businesses coming in. It's just, we're having an explosion of residential, commercial, industrial explosion here in this city. And they're looking for qualified people to run all aspects of business, whether it's manufacturing, supply, engineering, design, IT, whatever. It's all here. So I created a niche for myself because I'm in the service industry sector. And I found, for me, I like that kind of work because I work behind the scenes. In most cases, yes, I do a lot of residential work. As you guys know, I build a lot of decks and I do a lot of painting, a lot of sheetrock repair, a lot of wood rot. And, I fix a lot of water problems, lights, remove, replace, punch list work, that kind of stuff too. But this industrial and commercial and industrial work is a major feather in my cap when it comes to being able to have bragging rights as, oh no, I don't just work for realtors. I work for large, corporations, and here's my, job title and here's the scope of my work. When they see that, they're like, oh shit, this is our guy. or this is our company, we need to go in with that company. Now, the one thing I would probably never, ever do is take a government contract. I would never do a government contract. There's too much weird shit going on with regulations and, pay, and, it's just, an unpredictable world when you deal with government contracts. Okay? The money can be good at first, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're on your ass and you're out. But with the type of companies I deal with, maintenance is always needed all the time. And that's what I do, is building maintenance, okay? So building maintenance is just a huge field, potential growth in any city, really, because these buildings have to be maintained, whether they're small, medium, or, like I said, industrial footprints. Hell, if they called me up at Amazon and said, hey, we need you to power wash 150,000 square foot a building, I'd say, sure, I'll figure it out. It may take me a couple of months, but I'll get the damn place washed. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Remember, small jobs and big jobs are exactly the same. One just takes longer. Okay? On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it's informative. And remember, don't overpromise and underdeliver. Now, this contractor for this company has been terminated. They will no longer use him as a vendor. I took his position. I'm going to be there probably Tuesday or Wednesday and do a visual of the building and say, okay, here's my proposal. This is when I'm going to get started, and here's the first course of action. This is what I'm going to fix first. And since I have a working relationship with the bank already, they know who I am. They know what my financial capacity is, the ability for me to get in and get things done. Then I think everything will go smooth. Okay, on that note, I know we're coming up to the holidays real soon. I hope everybody just stays really, really safe out there. And stay tuned to the channel. And please subscribe, like, share, thumbs up, leave those comments, smash the bell for future notifications. And also, just be good to each other. And remember, if you want to get into the handyman business or you want to get into building maintenance business, the work is there. Okay? Y'all stay blessed. Stay tuned. Tom out of here.